Austin, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me, but I'm doing good. Just got home from training and I'm free for my Friday.
Nice, lovely. Obviously you're getting ready to fight Natan Levy on April 17th. What's the preparations been like on the run up to this fight so far?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty similar as most other camps, just a lot of hard work. Obviously we're doing game planning a little more specifically for him, but you know, same as always just working hard, constantly evolving, and yeah.
Great. And obviously Natan was, has been on Contender Series. That's where we've seen him from, but he's going to be making his UFC debut. What did you think when they put his name forward to you for this one?
Um, I don't really like care too much about who I fight. I've never been a fighter who like looks at who and who. If I get I just take whoever comes, whoever they give me, and I just take it in stride, get ready for it, and then go fight them. So I being he's 6-0, it's good he's undefeated, but it's kind of a green record. Um, Kind of doesn't have too much experience yet. So I was excited to test that record out. I'm excited for the challenge. Yeah. So.
And obviously, like you said, I think he turned pro in 2018, so not a lot to go by for you. I mean, what do you see when you look at him and you break him down skill wise?
I mean, I know he has that karate black belt. You know, from what I've seen in some of his, I only watched one of his fights actually. He seems like to grapple actually more than he likes to stand up. So when I initially got the matchup and everything, I was thinking it was going to be a stand up fight, but then when the fight got announced and everyone's calling him a grappler, and then watching the fight, he's more of a grappler it seems like. So I've been doing a lot of kind of grappling and making sure uh I'm just on point for all areas and make sure I'm coming ready.
Yeah, so how do you think his style will match up with yours then?
Uh, you know, I I feel like my experience will just be a huge factor. I think it'll be too much for him. I feel not to take anything away from him. He's a definitely skillful fighter in his own right. I just feel like I'm with the experience I've gained and before the UFC and then while in the UFC, I just feel like I'm better everywhere. But that's the great thing about the sport. You get to go out there and test it out and see where you stand, and I'm excited to do so.
And last year, you went 1-2. How would you
Yeah.
sum up last year for you?
Obviously it's never fun to go negative on your contract. So it was disappointing. I've never in my life before getting to the UFC have won one, lost one, won one, lost one. So getting into the UFC is definitely a different league. It's the Premier League. It's the top of the notch right here. So it's been a slight adjustment phase, and the last few months I've worked very hard on my mental approach, physically and skillfully. I feel no doubt I've always been there as a top performer and a top athlete in MMA. I just needed to do some mental work and putting things together along with that, and I focused really heavily on that, and I feel like I'm going to be right where I need to be to really start coming out of my shell and kind of putting together some performances and making my way up.
Yeah. How big of an aspect do you think the mental game is?
Oh, it's huge. I personally feel like it's huge. Anyways, I know not every fighter has those type of like head issues where they need to do any sort of mental work. They're just there, you know what I mean? But for me, it's helped me greatly. I've hired a mental coach, and I've been working with him for a solid 8 months, I think, or 9 months now. Been doing a lot of like reading different types of books on mental training and those sorts of things, and like nutrition, and really just kind of really diving into that mental work. Yeah, I feel like it's been a key factor for me in my growth, and I think it'll show, April 17th.
Yeah, and the win that you did have last year came in a very unusual way. Of
Yeah.
course, you got a win over Max Rohskopf, but it wasn't obviously how you pictured yourself getting the
Yeah.
win that night. I mean, that was a fight that was really talked about, obviously for the wrong reasons, but what was it like being on the other end of that?
It was better to be on the handing out of the beaten than taking the beaten. So I guess that's always good. I feel like sort of it I didn't get the justified amount of like what I did, caused him to break, and I won that fight. He's a very skillful, talented fighter, and I feel like him quitting on the stool, people kind of discredited that. And I don't feel he's any less of an athlete or anything like that because he did that. I still give him his props where he's earned that. He was a high level grappler and a very talented up and comer. So, um, you know, that was been by far my best performance in the UFC, where I feel like I've been able to kind of go in there with a clear mental mind state and put it together, and a solid performance. So, I know I need to put a few of those together and get a streak going, and then, the rest will come.
Yeah. And obviously, you've spoken a little bit about your preparation for this fight. You obviously train alongside some of the best at Elevation in Denver. What's it like training, alongside some of the guys there?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's if you're in a place where you're winning every round every day and you're always the best guy, you're not gonna grow. You know what I mean? And there's days where I have good days. There's days where I have bad days. It's a constant growth. It's a constant challenge. And it's awesome. It's very crucial. I feel like for me, I moving here has been my best decision of my life so far. I've been here training with Elevation our fight team for 5 years now, and it's been an awesome experience, and I just love it.
Yeah, and of course, being in the lightweight division, you have Justin Gaethje there as someone to
Yeah.
kind of see his journey and what he's achieved so far, having fought for the title. Is that inspirational at all, seeing his journey as a lightweight?
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to train with him on a consistent basis is really valuable experience. Just his mental approach, and then just the fact that he's at that where I want to be, and for him to be able to help me, and to grow off of him, and hopefully I can help him as much as he helps me, and it's awesome. I feel like it's great. I also get to train with Drew Dober a lot, Corey Sandhagen, Neil Magny, Carrington Banks, Lavelle Simpson, Taiwan, Claxton. There's just a whole bunch of people. I'm probably forgetting some that they just bunch of different styles, a bunch of different body types, and you just get pushed in every direction. So it's awesome.
What did you think about the new vacant title being matched up? Obviously, we're seeing Michael Chandler take on Charles Oliveira. Were you surprised with that matchup for the vacant title?
I was a little surprised. I can see why they put that together. I think Dustin Poirier for sure er, earned that title shot, and I'm sure he was offered it, and I understand why he would rather do the McGregor rematch because I'm sure he's probably making more money than if he was fighting for the title. So I mean, I get it, but it's kind of crazy, but I see where Charles is getting his shot because he's on what an 8 or 9 win streak right now, a bunch of finishes, and he's doing great in his own right. So I Chandler he has his one win in the promotion, but he's a big name coming in, so that's just the way it worked out, and it is what it is.
How do you think that fight goes down?
Oh, I don't know. I think gonna be a really good fight. Um, I think whoever can implement their game plan first and best is will win. Charles has kind of shown a bit of a weakness when it comes to if he's getting pressured and uncomfortable and in compromising positions. Um, and I feel like Chandler's going to keep that type of pressure, keep that type of relentlessness onto him. So it'll be good to see how it shakes out. And yeah, I think either way, it's going to be a hell of a fight for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And thinking about your fight on April 17th, what do you think you can expect from Natan Levy, and how do you see it going down?
I mean, with a high level karate black belt background, I'm sure he's gonna be having some fancy kicks for me. I've just been making sure keeping good hand placement because I'm sure those are sneaky, and I sure it'll be a very exciting fight. He seems like someone who is always in shape, always coming forward and trying to push the fight, and that's the same type of style I do. So I think it'll be a very fun, entertaining type of fight for sure.
Is there any pressure for you to get back into the win column?
I mean, yeah, there's always a little pressure coming off a loss. You don't want to go double losses in a row. So yeah, definitely. The key is to try not letting that pressure get to you, uh, and slow you down too much to where you're being too uh, you know reserved and not attacking and things along those lines. So it's kind of a fine line. You want to go out there and win, but uh, you losing two in a row is always in the back of your mind. So I'm feeling good about it though. I'm not too worried about it. I feel like my mind state's in a good place right now.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, and look forward to
Yeah,
seeing you back in the octagon.
thank you.